You're playing somebody who hits heavy topspin, just like Rafa Nadal or Iga Swiatek. The ball comes at you super fast, the ball jumps higher than your shoulder, you're on your back foot, you're constantly under pressure, and it is super frustrating, especially for newer players who may have not seen heavy topspin quite as much yet. In this video, I'm going to show you how you deal with that extreme topspin, and we'll start by figuring out exactly what makes that ball so dangerous. When your opponent hits with such a steep swing path and with that much acceleration, what they do is they create a ton of forward rotation on the ball, and that affects the flight path of the ball. The ball dips down very, very quickly, and especially newer players misjudge, misread that ball, and they think that ball is going to go deep. When the ball then drops in, they never got ready for the ball. The ball also bounces very high, which makes the ball oftentimes bounce over the shoulder. And of course, that is a very hard ball to control, especially for us old school players with a one-handed backhand. Not only does the ball bounce really high, it also seems to explode up to you. And it just feels like it's pushing your racket away. And I always like to call that it's bullying your racket. So to sum it up, you're jammed, you're above your shoulder, you're pushed back, all bad things. So what are the adjustments that you have to make? And I'll start with the swing actually, and then we kind of backwards engineer our way to where ideally your court position should be when you are responding to those heavy topspins. So heavy topspin comes at you really fast. The bounce really jumps up at you. And if you have too big of a windup, you catch it late. So the first thing that you want to do is make your entire swing a little bit more compact, which means that you may have to shorten your take back a little bit. The biggest adjustments that you have to make is your court position. If you're one of the players that usually kind of hugs the baseline, it can very well happen that every single ball jumps above your shoulder, which you can still hit, but you're not going to hit a very good quality ball. And above shoulder, it feels like you're getting that racket pushed away all the time. Think about it in a different way. If you wanted to push something heavy away, you wouldn't want to start pushing up here somewhere. You would try to get behind that obstacle, whatever you wanted to push away, and get your entire body weight going forward, pushing into that object. Same with responding to heavy topspin. So if you move back, a ball that previously was maybe above your shoulder might now still be in your strike zone, and you can adjust here and really brush, really accelerate against that ball. Because another thing that happens with that topspin is if you're trying to slow it down by actually slowing down your swing, that's definitely when that ball is going to bully your racket, you lose control, and that's usually when balls float. Now what happens though if you adjusted your court position and those balls are still jumping over your shoulder or even your head? You can, of course, drop back even further to let that ball drop back into your strike zone. But sometimes even that is not enough. Number one, you would have to move so quickly all the way back, and well, it could very well be that you're running into the back fence. So in that instance, countering those heavy topspins, the dropping back option is not the best. Usually, especially for newer players, I do promote the dropping back to let the ball drop back into your strike zone, but that is usually on those higher, deeper moon balls, the pusher balls. They are way slower and not as aggressive as those topspins. That's an option there. In our case here, countering heavy topspin, you have to take the ball on the rise. Obviously, it is a much tougher to coordinate shot, but when you do consistently encounter these heavier topspins, that's usually an indication that you play at a higher level, and that's when you have to start working on taking balls on the rise anyways. The key again though is that you're not getting up too close to the ball so that you're catching them basically right off the bounce, you're short hopping the balls. You do want to let the ball rise into your strike zone. And that combined with the probably shortened up take back a little bit, is now actually an opportunity for you to turn the tables on your opponents. Because when you're taking the ball on the rise and you're then again a little bit closer to the baseline, you are engaging our good old friend, taking time away from our opponent. Do make sure though, when you do take those balls on the rise, that you do start a little further back and moving forward into the ball, because that helps you stabilize the ball and control it. Now, of course, if you want to be the person hitting the heavy topspin and you're not quite sure yet how to do that, go ahead and check out this video.